Blonde has been out on Netflix for a good couple of weeks now, written and directed by Andrew Dominic, starring Ana de Armas. It's an adult rated film about Marilyn Monroe, but it's not a realistic biopic, but rather a strongly fictionalized version of her story based on a novel written by Joyce Carol Oates. The film has been pretty divisive since its release. First, it was reported that it got a long standing ovation during its premiere at Venice Film Festival, I believe. Then, after the premiere, some critics liked it, others bashed it completely. There was a lot of controversy in the media regarding scenes of rape, which, to the best of our knowledge, didn't happen in real life. Scenes of abortion, which, again, to the best of our knowledge, didn't happen in real life. And scenes of Monroe having conversations with her first trimester fetus looking like a fully formed baby, which I'm pretty sure also didn't happen in real life. It's a very long film, 2 hours 47 minutes. It's not for everyone because the narrative is jumbled, chaotic, messy, kind of like a fever dream more than a retelling of fact. I think there are some elements to absolutely love here, but there are also things which prevent the film from being truly great. So I liked the fact that the movie opted to be this tragic, sad exploration of someone trapped within their public persona, of Norma Jean, Marilyn's real name, being a well-read, intelligent person, seen mostly as a sex object, Marilyn Monroe, and being sort of unable to escape that public identity, of how the constant pressures from the public, the media, the film studios, the people in her life pushed her into being someone she didn't necessarily want to be, and how the absence of her father in her life sort of amplified all of that. And again, you have to take all of it with a grain of salt, knowing that the film was not made to be a very accurate version of the story. I just treated it as a sort of dark fantasy nightmare kind of thing, and therefore it mostly worked for me. I liked how through brilliant editing and some very clever camera tricks and techniques, it sort of blurs the line between what is real, what is a dream, what is a movie, what is a hallucination. It makes us, the audience, experience the same confusion that the main character is occasionally going through. Reminded me a bit of Mulholland Drive in this way. Also, just in general, the cinematography is beautiful here. Many of the shots look straight up like photographs from the time, being recreated once again, and occasionally it is truly, truly breathtaking. I think Ana de Armas gives a great performance. There's been a lot of talk about her imperfect accent, seeing as she comes from Cuba, but I sort of accepted it as it is and focused more on the emotions of it all, and at that she was impeccable. I also like the score, the sort of ethereal yet somehow foreboding music, very fitting to the kind of picture that Dominic made. However, there are also things that I disliked. Mostly, I think that the film is either too long or too much of an emotional torture. That is to say that I would be okay if it was as depressing as it is for 2 hours, or if there were more moments of levity and optimism in the almost 3 hours that we have. But to be both such a downer and so long, it's just tiring, it's exhausting. I did think that the fetus scene was really too much. I mean, were too much. I think there's 2 or 3 of them. Those scenes were too much. I mean, yeah, the movie makes it clear that it has elements which are not supposed to be realistic. They're not meant to be taken at face value, but this was just not in good taste and felt pretty silly. I also struggled to understand the significance of the aspect ratio changes, as well as the jumps between black and white and color image. The movie constantly switches between those things, and I tried to make out what it's supposed to signify, whether there's some consistency with, for example, black and white square scenes and color wide aspect ratio, but ultimately I just couldn't find any consistent reasons, so it was a bit confusing why scene by scene it changed. And so at the end of the day, I thought that the film was okay, but not great. I understand the criticisms that some people had, and I do think that some of them are justified. Some of them perhaps have to do with the expectations. If you can accept the fact that the film is a harrowing nightmare version of a character study instead of an accurate biopic, I think you can appreciate it much more. At least until you get tired by all the non-stop emotional torture which goes on for, in my opinion, slightly too long.